Okay, picture this. You move into a new house trying to heal, and your foster mom is keeping secrets buried, literally. Laura's not just mourning, she's doing something way darker. And Andy and Piper, they're stuck right in it. Let's break this film, bring her back down, because yeah, it's a lot. Bring Her Back stars Sally Hawkins as Laura, the foster mother, Sora Wong as sweet blind sister Piper, Billy Barrett as trouble brother Andy, and Jonah Rand Phillips as the mysterious Ollie. Right after the credits, Bring Her Back kicks off with this grainy found footage moment. Somebody's holding a camcorder recording what looks like a ritual. It's crazy. There's a woman hanging by the neck, and a body lying in the middle of a circle, marked out with what looks like powdered chalk or salt. It's eerie, and we don't really get what's going on yet, but the whole thing feels kinda off. As the film goes on, you realize that this video is actually key. It's showing how a group performs a resurrection ritual. They're chanting in Russian, which gives away the roots of the video, even though the movie never fully explains where the ritual came from. Later, Laura starts practicing that same ritual herself, repeating those same Russian phrases, and that's when you really start to feel how deep into it she really is. Bring Her Back opens with Piper, a visually impaired teenager trying to connect with classmates at a bus stop. She's independent and sharp, choosing not to use her walking stick because she's tired of being treated like she's fragile. But when she tries to join in their conversation, the girls hesitate. It's subtle, but it still stings. Piper knows what that kind of silence means. Her older brother Andy arrives, and their bond is immediately clear. He's her safety net, her anchor. But things take a dark turn once they get home. There's no response from their dad in the bathroom. He's battled cancer before, but this time, he's gone. They find him on the bathroom floor. A sudden heart attack leaves them on their own. Because Andy's still a minor, CPS steps in fast. The system doesn't care how close they are. It would literally split them up. However, thanks to Andy's persistence, they're placed together with a foster mom named Laura. At first, she seems kind, but Andy notices quickly that something's off. Laura is obsessed with Piper, and her warmth starts to feel more like possession. She pushes Andy out emotionally, and the longer they stay in that house, the more dangerous it becomes. Laura's got that loving caretaker vibe on the surface, but Andy sees right through it. She's all about Piper, fawning over her, doting like she's the only one that matters, while Andy's treated like furniture. Not hated, not yelled at, just dismissed. Then Laura introduces a boy named Ollie, who she says is her nephew, who is already staying with her. He's younger than Piper and never speaks. He has a buzz cut and looks a little strange. He watches everything like he's soaking it up, but not in a curious way, more in a calculating way. Laura keeps doubling down on the favoritism too. She gives Piper her late daughter Kathy's old room, treating her like the chosen one. Meanwhile, Andy's barely acknowledged. She starts out by calling him by the wrong name, not by accident, but like she's trying to erase him bit by bit. Things get even messier when Laura swipes Andy's phone and reads the text he sent to a friend. He called Ollie a effing weirdo, and now Laura's mask really starts to slip. She's done pretending, and Andy knows he just poked the bear. Later, Laura watches that creepy ritual video from the beginning, and it's wild. The whole process involves a possessed person, called an angel, consuming what they call the old body. Then someone else is unalived, and the spirit from the old body gets transferred into the new one, like a twisted resurrection ceremony. After their dad's funeral, Andy lies to Piper about how their father looked, trying to protect her. But Laura calls him out, revealing he never actually looked at the dad's body. Guilt eats at Andy, and he ends up facing his father's body with Laura at his side. Laura urges him to kiss the dad Phil goodbye, first on the forehead, then disturbingly insists on the lips, which she does herself. That night, Laura gets the minor siblings drunk during the dance party, meant to cheer them up. When Piper passes out, Laura and Andy open up to each other. Laura shares how her blind daughter Kathy drowned in the pool in the backyard, and Andy reveals how his father abused him, confessing he never told Piper to protect her memory of their dad. They seem to be having a bonding moment, but the warmth doesn't last. After Andy falls asleep, Laura urinates in a cup and dumps it on his pants to make him think he wet the bed. Then she unlocks his phone and deletes any evidence, any pictures of Ollie or the house. Meanwhile, Laura gives Ollie a bath and his eyes turn bright red, hinting that whatever's going on is much darker than anyone thought. A few days later, Andy stays home alone with Ollie, while Laura and Piper leave out. He finds Ollie locked inside of Laura's bedroom, so he grabs a knife to pick the lock and lets a disturbed-looking Ollie out into the kitchen and tries to get him to communicate by writing in a notebook. He slices up a cantaloupe to feed him and hands Ollie a slice with the knife. Andy turns his back for a few seconds to grab a plate. When he turns back around, there's Ollie munching on the knife. His mouth is tearing and bleeding. Panicked, Andy rushes outside to take him to the hospital, but crossing a strange white ring around the property causes Ollie to convulse, his skin blistering and his abdomen pulsating unnaturally. Andy looks freaked out. Ollie finally says, "Help." Laura and Piper return just in time to witness the spectacle. Laura screams at Andy about letting Ollie out and takes Ollie back inside the house. Laura calms the freaked out, screaming Ollie by playing the cult tape again in her bedroom, while Andy notices the only word Ollie managed to write was bird. Later, Andy finally tries to shower. The trauma of finding his father's body had kept him from it until now. But in the steam, he sees his dad's ghost pass by, whispering, "She'll die in the rain." Believing it's about Piper, Andy slips in a panic and hits his head, ending up in the hospital. There, he tells Laura he's worried about Piper. Laura heads right on home and plays with Piper in the rain, keeping things light. But then crazy Laura leads her to a weird-looking shed and has her unknowingly touch her daughter's Kathy's frozen corpse inside the freezer. Laura's manipulation escalates. She douses herself in Andy's body spray, walks into a sleeping Piper's room, and punches her dead in the face. Piper is left bruised and shocked. Laura spins a twisted lie, claiming Andy did it out of jealousy. Later, when Andy tries to film Ollie outside in the rain, because he's just standing there looking crazy, Laura uses the moment to stage another scene, starting a fight with Andy and making Piper think Andy hit her. Piper takes Laura's side in the fight, leaving Andy feeling alone and discouraged. While Laura takes Piper to the rec center to play goalball, Andy goes to the police station and spots a missing child flyer. It's a boy named Connor Bird. He immediately recognizes him as Ollie. Andy brings the flyer to the CPS case manager, Wendy, trying to convince her that Laura kidnapped Connor and has been posing him as her nephew. Wendy doesn't believe him at all because Laura already called her and told her Andy had hit Piper and attacked her. But she sees Andy's desperation and agrees to go to the house with him for a home visit. Back at the house, chaos is erupting. While Piper is still at practice, Ollie trashes the house, shoving anything he can find into his mouth. When Laura intervenes, he sinks his teeth into her arm, tearing out a chunk of flesh. She runs and locks herself in the bedroom. Ollie then bites the wooden table, wrecking his mouth with splinters, before ripping off a strip of flesh from his own arm and eating it like beef jerky. Laura manages to restrain him and initiates a grotesque ritual. She guides him to begin eating the old body. Ollie starts consuming Kathy's corpse. Laura overhears a voicemail Andy left for Piper, a heartfelt message warning her about Laura and reminding her that he loves her, no matter what. Realizing Andy and Wendy are coming, Laura frantically begins cleaning up the mess. Wendy arrives and initially sees nothing alarming. Meanwhile, Andy breaks into Laura's shed and finds Ollie with Kathy's body. Wendy notices Laura's bloodied arm and senses something is wrong. Laura finally drops her act. She mutters that they can bring her back. Andy calls for Wendy, who sees the full horror of what's inside the shed. They run towards the car to get help, but before they can escape, Laura plows her van into both of them, running over Wendy and critically wounding Andy. She finishes it by drowning Andy in a rain puddle, then calmly drives off to pick up Piper from practice. When Piper returns home, she realizes something is wrong. She searches further and finds Andy's body, identifying him by the braces on his teeth. Everything clicks. Andy was telling the truth. She tries to run, but in the chaos, knocks herself unconscious. Laura drags Piper toward the pool as the rain pours down, trying to recreate her daughter Kathy's death. Keep in mind all this time, something is trying to be unleashed from Ollie's body. Ollie enters the pool with them. Laura starts to drown Piper, but Piper resists and calls Laura Mom. The word hits something deep within Laura. Laura hesitates. She can't go through with it, so she lets Piper go. Piper runs off and Ollie tries to grab her, but she ends up falling down in the woods. Inside the shed, Laura pulls Kathy's corpse from the freezer and slices open her own arm, preparing to bleed out beside her. Outside, Ollie steps across the house's white salt ring, and whatever had been possessing him begins to pour out of his body. Piper eventually gets up and runs until she's rescued by a passing couple. Now safe, she hears Andy's final voicemail, filled with love and warning. Then she hears a plane overhead. Andy once told her that meant that their dad had made it to heaven, so she smiles. Maybe that means Andy has made it to heaven also. Back at the house, the police finally arrive. Ollie, who is free from whatever spirit was possessing him, calmly tells them his real name, Connor Bird. They head to the pool and find Laura's lifeless body cradling her daughter Kathy's corpse. Bring Her Back was okay. Not trash, not top tier, just kind of mid with pockets of really interesting tension. I thought we were headed towards some monstrous demonic chaos with Ollie, but nah, it was more of a slow burn possession case. He carried the spirit inside of him, and that thing was doing serious internal damage. Creepy? Sure, but if you're expecting a full-on creature reveal, this film might leave you hanging. Andy had his moments. I wanted to shake him like, sir, connect the dots. But when I zoomed out, I saw him more clearly. A grieving teen thrown into an unstable foster situation, trying to hold it together while protecting his sister. The film never sugarcoats his flaws. He's impulsive, sometimes withholding, but there's heart in everything he does. The boy was trying. Piper, on the other hand, tugged at me. Her limited sight wasn't the only thing blurring the truth. She was emotionally fogged too. She wanted to trust Andy, but his half-truths created just enough distance for someone like Laura to squirm in. That said, Piper's internal compass was strong. When things got wild, she didn't just crumble. She observed, adapted, and made her own decisions, even if they weren't always perfect. She felt like a real teenage girl, unsure, intuitive, and resilient. And Laura, Lord, let me breathe. This woman was deep in delusion, grief, manipulation, and straight up psychosis. She made foster care look like a psychological warfare. Laura didn't just lie. She constructed a whole reality where resurrecting her daughter via occult rituals felt justified. She had Kathy's corpse tucked away like a frozen dinner, was feeding Ollie locks of hair, manipulating Piper through trauma bonding. Babe, Laura needed not just therapy, but a supernatural intervention, a courtroom therapist, a medium, and maybe a few exorcisms. She was chaotic, cunning, and full-on chilling. So yeah, Bring Her Back had potential. The story was layered, and the trauma was real. And Laura was operating at full chaotic capacity. But did I enjoy it? Not really. It wasn't terrible. It held my attention, and the characters felt lived in. But I just was wanting more. More suspense, more monster energy, more scary Ollie. The build-up had me bracing for something unhinged and horrifying, but instead we got tension without the explosive payoff I was hoping for. Still, it gave me a lot to think about though. You just survived another real reckless review. Don't forget, if your foster mom's watching VHS tapes in Russian, run. Until next time, keep it reckless. Bye y'all.